Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's Carissa, aka sweetplumbob, and welcome back to my channel for the first episode of a brand new series that I'm starting on my channel where I will be recreating all of the Sims 2 families and rebuilding their houses in The Sims 4. So for this very first episode, we are going to be doing none other than the infamous and the iconic Goth family, which is by far my favorite. There's just so much background and theories on their lives, and they're in every game. We know the Goths, we're familiar with them, so we're going to recreate them in their house from The Sims 2, and we're going to get all into their background, all into their theories, and all that sorts of fun stuff. But real quick, before I get started, I will let you guys know that the objective of the Create a Sim and the speed builds of their houses is not to remodel or, recreate it in a sense that I'm making it better. As you can see, I'm trying to match them as spot on as I can with their characters in The Sims 2, their Sims in The Sims 2, and their outfits. So it's a challenge because obviously we don't have the same clothes. So I try to, make it work the best that I can. So that's where the fun is. So, here I am making the family. Yeah, I'm not trying to make them look glamorous. I'm trying to make them look just like their Sims 2 character. Same with the build. You'll see that, okay, it doesn't match. Like, you're probably, okay, that don't even go together. Like, that's ugly. That don't even, like, ew. Like, what are you doing? I know. It's ratchet. But that is the Sims 2 and how the houses were. And I'm just trying to get it to match to the best ability that I can. I will not be going through and talking about every little thing that I'm doing in the build. So, it's self-explanatory. I'll have the pictures to show you in The Sims 2 what the houses look like, and you can just tell me, if I did a good job recreating it. But real quick, I just wanted to tell you guys, why I decided to start this little series on my channel. Obviously, I love The Sims. I've been playing The Sims for a very long time. The Sims 2 is my OG. I know The Sims, the original Sims, was the first, but I was so young when it came out. I would play it, didn't even really know how to play it. I was just young. And then when The Sims 2 came out, that's really where, it really started for me. It's how I got hooked on The Sims. So I love everything about The Sims 2. And sometimes I miss it. The Sims 4 is my favorite. I think, technology has come a long way. I think it's more realistic. We can be more creative, creating the Sims. No Sim is ever the same. There's just so much about The Sims 4 to love. But, going back to The Sims 2, I miss certain things. I miss the storylines. I miss, the characters. And you have certain interactions that we had in The Sims 2 that we don't have in The Sims 4 that I wish we could bring back. Like, the kids playing catch, the kids jumping on the bed, or, how they would sit down Indian style, or, on the floor and chat. Like, that was just so cool to me. So realistic. There's just so many things that, I think we can make The Sims 4 even better, guys. So let's just bring it all back. But anyways, I came across a YouTube channel. Her name is Whitey28. I will link her channel down below. I came across her channel where she has a ton of Sims 2 Let's Plays. So you can go to her playlist and you can find hundreds of Let's Plays on The Sims 2. Every neighborhood, every pre-made family, and it just inspired me to recreate them in The Sims 4 and rebuild their houses. So shout out to her. She inspired me to do this. Go check it out if you're interested in The Sims 2 Let's Plays. We don't see a lot of those anymore. I wish I could get my hands on The Sims 2 and play them all, but unfortunately, I don't even know what happened to all my discs. Sad day. But anyways, yeah. So that is why I decided I wanted to do this. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just talk about the Goth family, because some of us are, like I said, older, we know the story, and some of us are younger, we don't know. So you know what, even I know the story, but I still like to talk about it. They're just so interesting. So we're going to start with the background and the origin of the Goth family. The earliest known Goth was possibly a medieval era woman by the name of Lady Raven Dancer Goth. And she wrote the Lady Raven Dancer Goth's Book of Spells, and the original can be found in the Gothic Library, which is a library built by the very first Goths that settled in Sunset Valley. Magical ability is a common trait shared by many Goths. It is shown in several games that Bella Goth is capable of magic, and her mother-in-law Cornelia Goth was often used in promotional images dealing with magic things such as spell books and the cow plant. Also, her possible relatives, Beatrice, Belinda, and Bianca Crumplebottom, are all witches, which that was interesting, news to me. I had no idea that, Bella and the Goth family were witches, or they had, witchcraft in their family and their origins. So that was really cool. But the appearance of Goth family members throughout the tree indicate a long lineage of wealthy businessmen, politicians, and scientists. And most male Goths are seen in suits and business clothes, while the women usually prefer long and elegant dresses, which explains their attire throughout, basically every game that the franchise has put out. But we're going to talk about The Sims 2 and the Goth family in The Sims 2 real quick. So in The Sims 2, the Goth family is the richest pre-made family in Pleasantview. The family is worth around 640,000 simoleons, and unlike most pre-made families, the bulk of it is in cash. As you can see, while I'm furnishing the house, it's not very extravagant. The house is only worth around 124,000 simoleons, and the family has 511,000 simoleons in funds. So in normal gameplay, it would be extremely difficult to reach this amount without cheats, but Gunther, who is Mortimer's father, he started out rich and got richer, and with Mortimer, I can't say his name, like when I'm reading it comes out like really fast, I'm sorry. With Mortimer being his only child, it's likely that much of it was inherited. But at this point in the game, The Sims 2, Mortimer is an elder, nearing death, and his wife, Bella Goth, has mysteriously disappeared and has never returned, having been abducted by aliens. Since her disappearance, Mortimer has been seeing Dina Caliente, a much younger woman who is only with him for his money. Cassandra Goth, his daughter, is engaged to Don Lothario, the local womanizer, who is romantically involved with 3 other women, Dina being one of them. Alexander Goth is Mortimer's only son. So when the family is first played, the yard is set for Cassandra and Don's wedding. And unless you perform some romantic interactions before the actual marriage takes place, Don will almost always leave Cassandra at the altar, which is pretty freaking sad if you ask me. Alright, so now I want to get into a little bit more about Bella Goth. I know she's missing in The Sims 2, and it kind of wouldn't make sense, she's not even, I didn't even create her, like why would we even talk about Bella? Bella is so important because Pleasantview and the whole, like, storyline of, The Sims 2 and Pleasantview revolves around her. So she's very, very important. Obviously she's in every single, franchise, Sim game, Sims 1, 2, 3, and 4. But the thing is you see her in all of them, but it's at different stages of her life, and it's kind of all out of order, and it's kind of confusing. But we're going to go ahead and try to explain it the best that I know how. So the first incarnation of Bella Goth is in The Sims 3, where she is a child of the bachelor family in Sunset Valley. So you see Bella, she's a Bella Bachelor at the time, and you also see Mortimer, where the Goths, which is his mother Cornelia and his father Gunther. So you see their families as child before they get married and everything, and you can see that they're friends. And what's interesting about Bella is that while she's a child, she's still wearing her red dress, so we can easily recognize her. But another interesting fact is that her room is very goth looking, which, when I played The Sims 3, never even stood out to me until I started, reading the theories behind them. And that, really explains, her interest in paranormal and, witchcraft and all of that stuff that we, read about, and all these theories and the stories behind the Goth family. But yeah, so we see Bella, as a child in The Sims 3, which, kind of doesn't make sense because you would think she would be a child in The Sims 1. But in The Sims 1, we see Mortimer and Bella Goth, where they are married, and they have a daughter named Cassandra. So in The Sims 1, we have them married, and we have Cassandra, who is a child at the time. So she's the only child. Alexander hasn't even been born. And Bella is described to be elegant and athletic with a high interest in the paranormal activity realm. That is what The Sims tells us. She's a stay-at-home mom, not much, not much to her. She's iconic, but, just pretty basic. Stay-at-home mom, real chill, real, you know, elegant, all of that, but she's also still very mysterious and still into that, you know, strange stuff. Alright, so then we jump forward to The Sims 4, where we see her, Mortimer, as adults, or young adults actually, and we see Cassandra as a teenager and Alexander as a child. So this would put her in The Sims 4 before her disappearance, which her disappearance happens in The Sims 2. So it kind of goes out of order, it's kind of confusing. But we're going to talk about The Sims 2 and how she has disappeared in The Sims 2 real quick. Alright, so she has been abducted by aliens according to Mortimer and Cassandra's memories. And her disappearance, like I said, is key to the Pleasant View story. And, you know, certain events occur due to her missing state. And according to the town description, Bella was last seen at Don Lothario's house, who is her daughter's fiance, alone with him. And according to Don's memories, he initiated romantic interactions with Bella, but she rejected him. And soon afterwards, she must have been abducted by stargazing through Don's telescope. Mortimer and Cassandra both have memories of her being abducted by aliens, despite the town's description, leaving the answer open-ended. So, yeah, the strange thing is about her supposedly being abducted in The Sims 2, which is this is where, you know, the theories run a little wild, and I don't know if we'll ever really know, like, the truth behind it all, but they're interesting to note. One thing that I want to mention is there is a town. We will, you know, recreate the town and all those family members later, but it's called Strange Town, and it is just like it sounds, strange, like aliens, like just weird stuff going on. But the craziest thing is that there is a Bella in Strange Town. Alright, so The Sims 2 is not like The Sims 4, where, you know, we don't have the open world, but at the same time we can go between all the different neighborhoods, and like it's the same game. In The Sims 2, you know, you play in Pleasant View and you only know the Pleasant View people. Like, it's completely different in that aspect. So in Strange Town we see Bella, which is interesting because, you know, it's Bella, obviously. It makes sense that if she was supposedly abducted by aliens and then we see a Bella townie walking around, it would make sense, you know, that, you know, they discarded her there after experimenting on her, which her face is different. She's the same Bella, you know, that's what people assume, but her face is just different, and it, you know, it's kind of, is it Bella, is it not Bella, what's going on? But I think it's Bella. A lot of people think it's Bella. She has no memory of her family or anything, so that's kind of crazy. But yeah, there's really no explanation to her being there. It's just kind of part of the storyline. But if you want to get into the theories of what happened, it can go real deep. There are some things that I read that said, oh, the creators just messed up. They accidentally deleted her when they created The Sims 2. So they came up with this backstory to explain her disappearance, which I don't agree with. I don't think that makes any sense whatsoever. Because that wouldn't explain her being in Strange Town. There's also, you know, other speculation of, you know, the Caliente sisters having something to do with her disappearance, because we'll talk about that when we recreate them in the next episode. But if you go to their family tree, they are related to aliens. So people think because Dawn was involved with the Caliente, something happened. And then there's also the fact that, okay, if Mortimer and Cassandra have memories of her being abducted by aliens, but she was last seen with Don Lothario, if you think about it in like gameplay, realistically, that's not even possible unless Mortimer and Cassandra were at Dawn's and they witnessed it. So there are so many like open-ended like answers and so many questions revolving around the Goth family. I mean, I could talk about it all day long. I will link Whitey28's channel down below if you want to go watch some of her Let's Plays. I will also link Krill Sims. He has an awesome Sim Facts video on the Goths. He explains their story way better than me, goes into more depth. But I'm getting ready to wrap this part up. I hope you like this series. I hope you're excited about it. I'm very excited about it. It was very fun to do, and I'm super duper duper excited to be recreating the Caliente sisters next, and then we're going to do Don Lothario because they are all interconnected, and we're going to try to tie together their stories. So stay tuned. I will be recreating those next, and then we're going to do the Pleasants, the Dreamer, the Bros. We're going to do all of them. It's going to be so much fun. I hope you guys like it. Subscribe if you have not. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a video. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I will see you guys in the next video.
When I saw you, I would lose control. Made me feel like there was no tomorrow. Should've told you that you're beautiful, but the days pass and now it's so long ago. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too. I wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Would you know my name? Would you know it and did you feel the same? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? It's too late now, 'cause I'm growing old, but I need you to deal with my sorrow. Just a memory, just a broken frame, and I know that I have no one else to blame. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too. I wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Would you know my name? Would you know it and did you feel the same? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Should've told you that you're beautiful. I wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? Would you know my name? Would you know it and did you feel the same? Wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now? When I saw you, I would lose control. Made me feel like there was no tomorrow. Should've told you that you're beautiful, but the days pass and now it's so long ago. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too.